Yo, check it out. This is So Sundays, episode 19, with your hosts, Driss, Alpha, Bashir, Curtis, and we got a special guest in the building today, Seth.
What's good?
Hey.
Where are we at right now?
We are, we're in my studio.
Hey,
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I love it.
Thank you.
Artwork.
I like how we're looking around like we don't know.
Like we did yesterday.
1,500 times.
But you know, it's funny. Every time I come here, I instantly want to take like an Instagram video
it's the
or like
vibe.
a fucking snap story
It's the vibe.
of this
See,
shit.
this is where we really
clout
strive from,
zone.
bro. We fucking art hippies to the core. And this shit is like, this does something for me. This is like being in the forest to me, bro.
Bro, like, yeah, the art like inspires
You feel me?
creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about
jungle.
actual
At
art,
all, yeah.
but like I like looking at it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
Makes
all
you
that
want to
matters.
think.
It just
I
puts
love
me in like
fucking art.
really good moods. Like,
yeah, bro. It's because it's the absolute sign of creativity.
I could just see
It's
myself
the sign,
I'm like
bro.
constantly inspired every day.
Yeah,
I
bro.
always thought
24/7.
this.
24/7.
I'm not allowed getting tattoos from my religion. I'm not allowed, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking,
Same
why don't
here.
people get tattoos off of paintings? Because paintings are it's original.
I feel like
Yeah.
people
One
do.
painting. So once you get a tattoo of the painting, you're not going to have another tattoo like anyone else.
True.
I feel like
True
that's kind
that.
of what tattoos are.
Yeah,
though.
tattoos
Word.
are like, yeah,
Like, it's
skin
Like paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some
Yeah.
niggas get the same tattoos as the other niggas.
Well, those are just
Oh, yeah.
original.
You know, I
Well, those
hate
are people. You know, the people who get the Bible verse. Like,
Yeah.
how creative.
Yeah, how contradictive.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, the Bible says no,
your
do
body's
not
a
pierce the
temple.
flesh.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
says-
like, I'm gonna get this tatted on my.
It
Yeah,
says,
that
yeah,
shit
you
never
can't-
makes any sense to
You
me,
can't
bro.
desecrate your body yet. You're gonna. Oh, I'm showing how much I love God by like going against. Don't get me started.
So, yo, Seth, like, what is it like working here? Like,
I mean, we can like.
he's here right now.
Let's
I
actually
get it.
get to our weeks.
Yeah.
How was our weeks, guys?
Well, we want to talk about my morning or this afternoon? Well, I locked. It's funny. Right before we pulled up here, well, before I pulled up here, I locked my keys in my car.
Womp, womp, womp.
You know, but luckily enough, my mother saved the day. She found my spare key, and we're gonna get that situated. But
Shout out,
outside of that, my day's been pretty solid.
Mine is Driss, our lovely guy. But we went to an awesome event last night.
Yes, we did.
it was really
Shout out to what is it? What is it called?
Mouth Mag.
Mouth Mag.
Annie is I think it's Colker. I think it's.
Oh, okay.
She made a magazine, right? Mouth magazine.
Yeah, she's a senior at CCAD. The interns that are working with me they're really good friends with her, and they put it on at Two Truths, and it was an experimental like game show environment where it was like
Yeah.
a rap battle and a producer battle, but they also had like prop instruments. I don't know if you guys saw like the
Yeah.
little toy xylophone and stuff.
Oh,
they-
yeah, that was dope.
awesome.
That
that
shit
was
was dope.
crazy. They're like
That shit
making
was
beats
awesome.
on like toys. It was
That shit was
crazy.
fire, bro.
This
And he
dude-
was hitting the keyboard, sitting right on the floor, making the
Saying
beat,
it,
bro.
I was
Bro,
impressed.
that's what I was saying. I wish Driss
I
would have
wish
been
you
there,
were
bro.
there, bro.
That shit would have been. You would have loved it, bro.
We got it.
I was talking.
You would have fucking
I was
loved it.
talking-
try to get them to do another event like that here.
Yeah,
That'd be
that shit was
fun.
fire.
Ooh, an event like that here would be crazy.
Yeah.
That shit would
that'd
be
be
fire
lit.
here, bro.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Over
that'd
there
be
in
fire.
that area.
in the X space.
Yeah,
in the back where the Halloween
Yeah,
party
yeah,
was.
yeah. That joint. That's
that'd be
nice.
hard.
This dude was standing next to me, and we were talking about the producer that was going, like, I was making a beat. I was like, yo, that shit was wild. He goes, yeah, that shit was crazy. And the guy calls out a name. He goes, oh, excuse me. And he just starts spitting.
Yeah,
it was
bro,
like
homie
that.
was nice though. I wish I knew. Did you know his name?
I need to.
Yeah,
I don't
follow
remember
dude with the
anybody's
beard,
names.
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
dude,
he
with
was
the beard.
Malcolm
He
X.
looked just like Stalin.
Well,
bro.
And Malcolm X.
Yo, and I thought he was about to get walked on. Them. He was.
Nah,
that guy
that
was
nigga
coming with
was
some heat
nice.
at first. The guy that was battling him.
He got
like
a good voice and good cadence.
He was like Tyler the Creator meets Eminem.
He had a
The first dude, yeah.
I didn't care for the first dude at all.
Which one's the
I
first?
like his.
dude?
I like his cadence.
I like his cadence.
yeah.
His
Which one was
delivery.
that?
His words just
The
wasn't.
Ray
matching.
Sherman looking nigga.
I feel so
I'm
left out.
sorry.
Yeah,
That one.
Because I'm gonna be honest, the dude with the beard, the Stally looking guy, that dude washed him.
Washed him.
Yeah.
And
I
don't think
you know
it
what
was
he-
crazy.
You know what he
Washed
did? He didn't play the game.
Yeah,
He came in there. He
did.
came in there just to show what he can do.
it was a game, guys, called. They had to rap against each other and they had to make each other smile.
Yeah, that was it.
Or like
funny.
laugh.
Yeah, and the Trippie Red
That's
Lip.
funny.
And they both were spitting, and it wasn't like nothing fun. Well, one dude was trying to be
The first
funny.
dude was funny. The
but
first
it
dude, when he
wasn't-
went
yeah.
off, it was I was
But
laughing.
the other dude, he was like, "Nah, I ain't come here for that.
Yeah,
I
straight
came here to
heat.
rip your ass."
bars. I'm giving you all these bars.
And he was spitting, bro.
He was. He was going
nice
on.
off the top. I'm like, damn, this nigga.
Oh yeah,
nice,
and then I started.
bro.
So he started rapping, right?
Yeah.
And I walked up. And I just said, Nicki Minaj. And this nigga's like, you want to talk about Nicki Minaj? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, bro, he
And
was
I was
spitting.
like, hot Cheetos. He goes, and
He said, "Look at my finger like the Cheeto man."
Yeah.
He was fake, bro.
That was fire, bro.
This shit was wild.
All right, well, yeah. Since last week,
We got to talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We don't really care too much about the game. Congrats to the Eagles for winning. We want to talk about the riots.
Yes.
Bro. That shit was crazy.
Disrespect.
Y'all were bugging. People were bugging,
Yeah, they were
dog.
flipping cars and shit.
Yeah.
The cops didn't care.
The awning on
That's
the Ritz-Carlton. Mind you, I just found out what the word awning meant. Like,
Oh, come on. Man.
I didn't know what it was called. You called it a hotel thing.
That white people think.
yeah, I didn't know what the fuck that shit was. I just saw it there. I was like, the hood above the door.
Niggas busted that shit up.
Yo,
damn.
There was like 20 niggas on top of it. On top.
Bro, I seen, Kaya was at the
At the riots?
I don't know if it was the riot.
Wait, are we
guess
name?
it-
Are we
everywhere.
name?
Parade,
Guys,
the
no
parade.
one name dropping.
Yeah, no
all
one
right?
name dropped.
Kaya's cool. She's cool.
We know she's cool.
Nobody
was
knows.
there too.
All right,
There you go.
fine.
Was a name drop.
We
But
let's
she
keep name
was
dropping.
a core motherfucker standing up on top of like food trucks and cab cars, and it was dummy there, bro.
There
Didn't
was
the
one
cops-
nigga on the stop sign, the stop sign thing, getting naked.
real?
Standing on top, like about to fall and
Yo.
shit. Faded. You can
cops,
see he's faded.
the cops were like putting grease all over the
Yeah, the
flagpoles and
Crisco.
shit.
The
Yeah,
Crisco.
yeah.
That shit didn't
They
work.
Also,
were
people can't
greasing
climb
the
up there.
flag.
It didn't work.
That's so funny.
It didn't work. Niggas were climbing shit.
Bro.
Like,
Get more Crisco. Come on, Larry. Go
That's
to
funny
the
watching a car with a bucket like.
that's how it looked. Niggas like this.
Stroke, major strokes.
Nigga come right behind him with a towel. Like, nah, y'all ain't stopping this shit.
Did anybody get hurt over there? Like,
Maybe I don't know.
I'm pretty sure somebody probably.
I didn't hear too many. I
casualty.
didn't hear too many people talking about arrest or whatever. They fucked that city up.
that's what I'm saying. I seen them flip a car. Like,
Well, they broke into like convenience stores and started like.
Do
having
they
food
deserve it?
fights.
Do they get to do it though? They ain't won a Super Bowl in a minute.
Ever.
You kind of let them slide.
Ever.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't know when it
Cops
comes
do,
to
obviously.
Well, here's
Obviously
my
they
thing.
do,
When it
nigga.
comes to like breaking into businesses, you don't let that slide.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
climbing
no,
up
no,
shit,
no,
yo,
no,
that's
no,
on
no.
that's your own.
Yeah,
business,
niggas were in a
bro.
Wawa or whatever, just having a food fight.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I
For
heard.
those of y'all who don't know what the Wawa is, that's an East Coast thing.
Yeah. We unlucky. We don't got that
Wawa.
shit.
A Wawa.
Wawa.
Yeah,
like a-
niggas were wildin'.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
But
well,
congrats
to them.
Yeah, congrats to the
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
E-A-G-L-E.
Tom Brady saw
I
it,
made
but
$20
yeah.
off that.
You
Oh yeah, you did make
This
it.
nigga
to
did.
Fuck a Tom Brady. I'm still 3-0 against him in
Brady
the Super Bowl.
Saudi. But it's
nigga.
like, nigga, you got 100 rings.
We're gonna
Go
move.
with it.
We're gonna move on. Before we
We're gonna
move
move to
on,
our-
I do want to say one last thing. I made a bet with a couple of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not drinking for the rest of the month.
Hey.
All right. So when I get my bread, I want my bread in one, so I can go to Scores.
Let me-
Excuse me, the strip club.
Yeah, don't name drop scores. Yeah, don't name drop.
And we're gonna make it rain on. Yeah,
Me and Alpha was in there all
I'm
night
gonna
last night.
We're gonna
drinking
start
water.
placing side bets on this. I think.
I think so because Alpha was yesterday.
Yesterday he already committed. He was like, he didn't drink. He didn't drink.
I
but
did not drink.
He said, fuck it. I'm
We're gonna be
just
trying to
gonna-
break Alpha.
Yeah.
So if he
I had
said
to hold this nigga back for a second. I was like, Alpha, come on, bro. You ain't gonna drink. Come on, man. He's like, I
bro,
might.
just a shot of
I
tequila.
would just do it.
Bro, when he got that shot of tequila at Two Truths, I was so mad, bro. I was like, that should be. It was
That was-
bro.
Dude, bro, the funniest part
Why
was
I
when
blacked
a dude came in. He was like, "I got next round." And I was like, "Oh man."
Can we talk about that guy? Can we talk about that guy? So no one. I thought it was somebody else. I
real?
dapped him. He thought he knew me. I didn't know him. Then he thought
He knew me.
Oh, he knew you.
He knows me. Yeah.
Oh, never
I just
mind.
don't know him.
That
You
doesn't
know,
make it as
I hate
funny.
that
Seth be
predicament,
faded.
bro.
That should be so funny. Seth
was
be-
it?
Are you ever?
I know when Seth is slapped, when you ask him like a question or talk to him,
He
and he
just
just
stares
like
at you.
stares at you.
Curtis called that out. I looked over to this nigga. He's like,
I'm asking this
He's like,
nigga
this nigga-
full blown. He's just like, I'm like, oh yeah, Seth is done.
nah, have you ever been in the situation where you know someone but you don't know their name, so you introduce them to
yeah.
someone
Yeah,
else,
it's true that.
hoping that
This
other
is my
person,
man.
yeah, hoping the other person's like, yo, what's your name? This nigga didn't do it. They give
They
up to
gotta
me.
introduce themselves, man.
I don't know that nigga's name to this day.
It's always worse when you actually have like memories with this dude. Like you did all this shit, and he's like
yeah.
trying to like
Still can't
reminisce with you,
remember.
and you're just like, oh yeah, I remember.
What's
And
the word
every
for
time
that?
y'all get together, though, make new memories, you never ask his name,
We
so
call
it just
that-
keeps going.
Bro, that happened to me.
Do we
Like,
go friends amnesia? We call it that?
I don't
There's
think
no
there's
word
a
for
word
it.
well, you can't call somebody your friend if you don't even know their fucking name.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's
Well,
strong
that's a
acquaintance.
lie, bro. There's a nigga at a gas station. I see him every day. He's my friend. I don't know his name.
He's your friend.
Friend, like
Yeah,
he
like
help
that's
you
my
change
homie.
your tire.
Nah, I don't-
He would help me change my tire.
Yeah.
yeah, give me just a second.
Yeah,
All right,
That's a businessman doing
Yeah,
business
yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
This man
bro.
doing business.
Quick thing.
Big bag.
But yeah, I was literally about to be like, hey, moving on. We're about to like talk to Seth about some things.
Hey, I like this though. It's raw.
All right, yeah, it's all
bro.
good. He had to handle some things real quick. But what's your guys' quick question? What are your guys' vices, and would you give up those vices for a month period of time?
Cigarettes.
Would you give up cigarettes for a month?
I gave it up.
My neck.
But I guess nicotine. I haven't given up nicotine yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but cigarettes. I smoke a couple of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Don't try to snitch. Were you trying to snitch on me?
Yeah, I was.
Were you about to snitch on me?
I was not about to let you sit here and tell this lie. I'm like, bro, I seen you smoke a cigarette last night, you son of a bitch.
But it's all right.
But he's working on it, and he's cut it way back. Listen, everybody at this table, we love each other.
He doesn't smoke as much as I.
I don't buy packs. I haven't bought a pack in 2 weeks.
Wow.
We love each other, bro. And that's all. I just want to see us, each one of us, work on whatever we feel like we low on.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really working on it. I just made a bet. So
I mean, it's just work on whatever you feel like that's got a grip on you.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. I would want my friends to tell me if I legitimately had a problem.
Of course.
I don't think I have a problem.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it.
I don't know. You not taking a flask to work.
Yeah. Well, no, I actually only drink on the weekends. I don't drink during the week.
Social drinker.
That's what I was telling you yesterday. I was like, the hardest part is Friday, Saturday.
Oh yeah, for sure.
it.
Yeah, Monday or Sunday night through Thursday.
Thursday is great.
Yeah, it's whatever. I don't.
It's that social environment. People, everyone's drinking.
It's just social drink, bro. Wherever nobody's sitting at home, fucking cracking hella
taking
beers
shots
by themselves.
You're taking 3 shots of tequila by yourself.
I don't think I've ever gotten drunk by myself. No.
I think. Well,
I'll have a glass of wine and it hit me.
No,
I got drunk, but I wouldn't say by myself. I was on the Xbox playing with other people and drinking. So
you're chilling.
But if I were to have a vice, I think it would be video games.
But for
you, that's your vice.
That's my vice. I waste a lot of time.
Yeah, that's something I grew out of. I mean, here's my thing. I don't think it's like there's 40-some-year-old people who still play video games. It's just a different generation. Like some generations didn't grow up with video games, so they're not as attached.
Yeah,
but like, see, I'm off of that because I never was a big video game guy to begin with.
Yeah.
So it was.
I don't think it's advice for you until it hinders like your work. Or
I mean, but I feel like I could easily do a lot more if I wasn't playing video games.
But that's how I got an obsessive personality. So whatever I get hooked in, I'm hooked. So if I'm on video games, I'm not leaving the house. I know how I am, bro. Mm-hmm. So that's why I sold all my shit.
How about this? You get 2 hours of video games, lock your controllers in his room.
No, I can't do that because...
Oh, you need it for TV?
Yeah, I need it for TV.
Oh, yeah. So your life is centered around your Xbox, low-key. Like, entertainment-wise, like, just chilling at the crib.
Well, damn.
Read a book then, nigga.
See, well, then get it.
He said, read a book.
Yeah. Well, no, don't read a book. Don't listen to the audio version of the book in your car.
No, that's honest to God, I think it's kind of fucked up, but this is how I think of actual books. I think they're kind of a waste of time. Because
physical copies?
Physical copies
hurts
are a
my
waste of
heart
time.
when you say that.
Because the reason why I think that is because I'm a multitasking kind of guy. Like, I have to be doing multiple things at once. Okay. So for me to actually devote my time to just like holding and reading a book,
you're not gonna do it.
But it sharpens your mind, though.
It does. But this is the thing. It creates. It's not you got to look. I mean, I'm not trying to get too philosophical.
Yeah. Philosophical.
A book is meditation. It's not the actual book. You know what I mean? Like it helps you sit down and sit still and focus.
Teaches you discipline.
Yeah, bro. That's what a book is really for. Because you can listen to an audible and be running around, but then you can zone in and out. When you got a book right in front of your face and it's word by word by word.
But it also depends on what kind of story you're reading, though.
Yeah, because some stories are boring. Yeah.
Read
boring.
And that's the same with audiobooks, too.
That's with anything. You're not going to play a video game that's boring.
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
You know what teachers should have done? Instead of like forcing the entire class to read a book that was in the curriculum, I know they have to follow the curriculum sometimes, but they should have told everybody, figure out a subject matter that you like, and then read a book about that subject matter. Yeah. And that's how you get kids interested in reading,
You
bro.
should get a book about cryptocurrency or some shit like that. You would probably...
I don't think...
like finance.
See, for you'd probably listen to a podcast.
I'll listen to a podcast. I think my life is just too hectic to just like have a moment to sit down and read, you know? Unless I'm like...
This is the thing about your time. It's your time.
I know.
You do what you want.
But like that's my thing. Like I feel like for me to actually sit there still and read something, I'd rather be...
See, but you're putting it on a pedestal right now.
How about we make a book club?
No, we're not doing
Why
that.
not?
Girls do that all the time. Girls do that all the time.
Oprah style.
That'll push you to finish it by a deadline.
Then I'll just get the audiobook.
No, you ain't getting no audiobook. You gotta buy the book.
Oh, man.
See what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
yours.
How about we find a book that's like from like the
That'd be
1940s.
lit.
So
I'd read a
there
book
is
with
no
y'all.
audio version.
Would y'all join a book club with me? Fuck this
But
nigga.
somebody, probably a
That's what I'm
librarian
saying.
might
There's
read it.
audiobooks for everything.
Hey, he's
Because
back.
audiobooks are
But
sex
yeah.
make it sex.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think we.
No,
Nah,
you're
nah,
good.
No, you're good. Well, Seth, what we were talking about while you were gone, we were talking about vices. What type of vices do you have that you need to
I
get
don't know
rid
who'd be
of?
listening to this, but women probably.
Women?
Yeah, talking to the
women.
mic, but yeah,
He said women.
Women is your
And I
vice?
guess I don't like to call it a vice, but I like my weed. So
That's more like
Yeah, I do that.
drinking.
recreation.
but
I can drink less.
We're talking about like vices where you
Something that has a hold on you.
Yeah.
That's a vice.
yeah.
like cigarettes is a vice for me, or nicotine is a vice for me, and drinking's for him.
Well, I don't even know if drinking
It's
is
not
a
really
vice
a vice
for me.
for me.
Vice to
I-
me is what I want to stop, but I can't. That's what a vice is to me, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I don't have the discipline to.
Okay.
Cigarettes. For
You feel me?
What else?
nicotine.
Yeah. I actually pride myself on
Masturbation.
my
Oh,
discipline
Masturbation is a big one.
at times, but man, that's a tough one. I kind of like to live like
Well, how often?
Fast.
Quick question: how often do you drink?
yeah. I have at least like a beer a day, probably.
That's not
That's not bad.
But I get
I know a lot
drunk.
of
I
people
get
like
drunk like once or twice a week. 'Cause,
Weekend.
like,
Okay, that's me.
That's casual.
Whenever
That's
I'm
me.
with you guys.
That's
Yeah, that's me.
casual,
That's what I'm saying. I'm a casual. I'm
I
a
like
casual
social drinker.
All right,
Yeah.
I love the happy hour at Sean Water, Tap Off Drafts. I get like a beer or two with dinner, like all the time.
That's not.
that's just a deal, my nigga.
You know
That's
what I
good.
gotta
That's
say?
gravy, my nigga. That's just a deal.
You know what I gotta say about
Wow.
vices? I think vices to know a vice, you gotta know yourself. Really, I
Exactly.
feel like it's easier for people to tell you what you got a problem than for you to know yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, some people lack self-awareness, though,
Exactly.
bro.
But thank you, Alpha.
A
That's
lot
what
of
I was
people
gonna say.
do,
Like,
yeah.
bruh, some people do not want to check their self. We are animals of just procrastination and excuses, bro. So as soon as we be like, oh, I can stop anytime. Oh, I don't have to if I want, but I want to, and that's your vice.
And I could
because you'll
literally-
say that every time.
I could sum that up in 3 words, man. Ignorance is bliss.
For real.
The fact
That's
that you
what
don't know.
Yeah, if I
I
don't-
mean, so
yeah.
when people say, yeah, you do need to know yourself, but that if you know yourself and you hold yourself accountable, then that's good. A lot of people don't hold themselves accountable, bro. So when you tell them something, they take offense to it.
Yeah.
When it's like, nah, I'm actually just like trying to help you out. But if I tell you once and you take offense to it, cool, I'm not telling you again. You can
Yeah.
go.
Taking offense to stuff is wild.
Taking
Like,
you
people
can-
getting offended or something.
But you
like,
can if I can take offense to something that you told me about my personality if you don't know me.
Facts. If you're strangers, I get
But
that.
that's
I'm talking about
different.
friends.
Yeah, friends.
It's
Friends,
still,
of course,
there's still
but
like a
it's
little
also how
piece
you
that
say
you
it.
yeah, it's still a little piece you get. Say your homies is your brother, and what he's saying is true. There's still a little piece you're gonna get offended still. You're
Sure,
still gonna
but
get
you
a
know
little
what?
mad. But you
But
put
you're
that shit
checking
away.
your ego.
Check
Yeah.
it.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that ego.
because naturally you're going to be like, well, it's natural for people to be defensive. But my thing is, it's the self-awareness thing. I say this all the time. Or if someone's telling me something about myself, I'm going to be like, well, okay, let me pull myself back for a second. How was I acting in that situation?
Yeah.
Then you
Get outside your body.
Yeah.
We got some people that like
There's a lot
we
of
know
people who are
that
like- oh, you're talking about who we know? Oh.
There's
that
a
we
lot.
don't want to tell them shit because we're afraid of what they're gonna do themselves.
Yeah.
Like
Or
as a,
how they're just gonna handle
as a dude, I should never be hesitant to tell you something.
Yeah.
And you're
As a
making me do
friend.
that. As a friend.
I don't keep that shit in. I got.
You
if
just tell
I
niggas-
I just everything.
That's
rolls-
good. I'm gonna bring you around
So
this
like,
dude then.
this is something too. Like, man, there's so much time people spend on like thinking about the actions and like the decisions and like
Yeah.
weighing in. Like, the only thing that you need to weigh in on and like contemplate is like the big picture. Like anything
Yeah.
along the way that creates any type of resistance in your life, you cut through it like fucking butter. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have time for it. You just don't.
I
Fucking,
don't want that in my life. Kind of
And
thing.
don't
I don't need that shit in my life.
entertain it.
Unless
Yeah.
if there's like a check involved, then maybe entertain it. But even then, know your worth too.
That check
It's
gotta
like-
be nice.
Yeah, it depends on the check, but like, yeah.
But you gotta like just fucking.
I like what you said, the big picture. Because in the grand scheme of things, sometimes you got to be like, ultimately, even if I'm checking this person, it's for your own benefit down the line. You may not see it now,
Yeah.
but like if you don't, but like if you're going along this path and you're not correcting yourself, and somebody checks you and says, "Look, this is what's going to happen if you continue to do this," and you get offended, well then, all right, I
right.
warned
You
you.
know what? See, I'm a
Yeah,
little
like for
different.
example, Chris, our buddy. Oh, should I not name drop?
If it's not a bad thing.
First of all, one of my rules is
Was
I
it a
won't
bad
say.
thing?
I'll say it to you if I won't
Oh,
say
you're
it
gonna say
behind
it to
your
his
back
face.
and say it to your
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
Anyone. So, but
Don't use the name this time.
yeah, our friend, he always texts me here. But when he like is not even parked yet. And I told him this I was like, it bugged me the first and the third time. I said, bro, it takes me 6 seconds to walk out my studio door to that door.
Can I tell you where this stems from?
Oh, what?
You.
No, I will say some of it is me too, and Dooley.
Well, no names, but yeah, I know.
I mean, this homie thought it was cool. We pulling up, and you'll say, it started off, we pull up, yo, I'm outside. And it's like 20 minutes. Then he comes out. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to give him a 20-minute heads up. And we would do that. And sometimes it won't work. It'll be like 40 minutes. He knows it or some shit. So we do, Chris used to does it.
But I told him, I said, bro, the text said here, the moment you walked into this door, it's been 5 real minutes. I watched you like look around for something in your car. Like, bro, like text me here when you're at. You guys tell me when you're at the door.
In his defense, though, like, because I've been in like and when we live together, we'll tell somebody to pull up.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for them, and then we're just like, fuck it, now you're cutting into our time, we'll meet you out. And then they'll be the ones to be like, yo, why didn't y'all wait? It's like, no, bro, we waited 20 goddamn minutes for you.
I mean, I do feel all that. But my thing is, like, I'm sometimes it's not for them. Sometimes when I, like, check a homie, not check like I'm a boss or something, but like when I criticize or something that they doing that, sometimes I'm not doing it just for them. I'm doing it for me because I like being around you.
And I want to be still around you. Yeah.
I'm not gonna keep negative energy around me or energy that bothers me. Yeah. So I'm not checking you for you sometimes. I'm checking it for me.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel me?
That's real too.
But hey, you know what I say? Everybody's got to be selfish. Like this, the word selfish has like a negative connotation to it.
Yeah.
But bro, like no, you put yourself. I say this: you put yourself ahead of everybody else, unless you have a child.
Facts.
Outside of that, until you have a kid, then you put the child ahead of you. But before that, you put yourself ahead of because it's your life, bro. You got to figure out what's best for you.
That's you know what I'm saying? I like that you said that because there's a lot of people that put their parents.
I do.
And like a lot of their family before them.
I won't do it, bro.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Yeah, I cut that out too.
And what happens with that?
I did for a long time.
Yeah, but what happens with that is that it just kind of weighs you down.
You enable them.
It's kind of like, and a lot of us got to deal with this. It's called the black tax.
The black tax?
True.
What is that? I've never heard of that
black
actually.
tax.
Black tax is just like you gotta all your family's problems get dumped on you.
You gotta pay your family tax
for them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that.
Not through money, but like
I know
emotional.
Sometimes money.
I see it like, bruh. See, I'm the only child, so I always say selfish is a good thing because when you're happy in your own world, just by yourself, literally, if you can make that happy, anybody else who comes into it, it's a good time. Think about like, all right, you're at a party, it's 3 best friends, you're kicking it, but then one of the best friends leave. Are you miserable now? No. You still got 2 other best friends with you.
Yeah.
So the party doesn't end. You feel me? And those other 2 best friends are me. You feel me? So it's you come in my world. Oh, we kicking it.
You hit me with the sideball, curveball.
Y'all. It's me. But that's what I'm saying. Like you come in my world, awesome. It's amped. Yeah. But then as soon as you leave, listen, I'm still having a good time.
Oh,
you feel me?
Yeah.
Bro, I dance by myself more than I dance.
Dude, bro.
Real shit. All right. Well, let's actually get to our man of the hour, man. Yeah. This is our guy Seth. He doesn't have a fucking last name to me. He's like Cher, so I don't fucking care about your last name. We just call him Seth.
I like that.
But we're going to start it out, my guy. Where you from, bro?
From a small place in Ohio called Dresden. It's like a little village.
Yeah.
The village of Dresden, actually. I grew up in like a little farmhouse out in the country.
Okay, so how did you get into, you grew up in a little village. How did you get into like just creativity?
My parents are both artists.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's my dad's work right there. That's my dad's work right there.
Oh, get out.
Shit, I never knew
the strawberries?
Yeah. The strawberries, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's fire.
Okay.
So,
That's cool.
That's all right.
Yeah, but my mom's an interior designer. She also works in like fashion and threads and stuff. She had a shop.
So
we moved here from Iowa. My dad was a basket weaver.
So you're from Iowa?
Wow. I've never heard nobody with that occupation.
Basket weaver?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's like Little House on the Prairie shit, my nigga.
So
For your Iowa. So
in our little village, yeah.
So you were born in Iowa, grew up in Dresden?
I moved here when I was 1.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and then
To Columbus?
no,
Dresden.
Dresden.
Oh, Dresden.
It's like an hour and a half east.
Okay.
So
Muskingum County.
Okay, so
I know what that's
what would be the biggest city near
Zanesville.
Zanesville. Okay,
Or Newark, because Newark is kind of in between Dresden and Zanesville.
You guys got all the snow days back in high school.
Oh, all of them, bro. Actually, not, dude. It's a mix because like a lot of people would just be like, "Fuck it" all the time. Like they got their big trucks and their plows, and a lot of people just made it. They just didn't. I think later when I was like in high school, they started getting like more aggressive with like making sure safety and shit. Because a lot of kids, this is terrible. Not to get on a sad note, but there's a lot of like kids dying in car accidents in the country because they just
I bet.
reckless driving crazy and stuff. And I actually had a friend, and he passed away when he was 16. Driving
Oh man,
Holy shit!
home from school. We left band practice, like marching band practice, and he like got in an accident. Yeah. So, but
Well,
anyway.
Speaking of marching band,
So wait, when did you come to Columbus?
So I moved here with work like 3-4 years ago. I moved to New Albany.
Okay. So you kind of knew.
I'm new
Columbus.
Columbus,
Still.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yet he still knows how to get
seasoned.
through the city better than
me.
all of us.
I still use
map
fucking
that
GPS.
shit.
Yeah, bro. He hates that, bro. I
get
grew
so
up
mad at
here.
all you guys in the car. Like, I do not know where we're going. What do you mean? It's the fucking easiest shit.
You've lived here your entire lives, and you still
I
don't
say that
know.
every time. I said, you all lived here your whole life. I got food.
Yeah.
This guy right here. Thank you, Bashir. Always getting food out of my teeth.
Bashir, we always talk about some guy like that. Like, man, we don't never got no friends. Bashir's that guy.
Bashir's that
He'll
guy.
tell you if it's a booger in your nose.
I get fixated, bro. You were talking this whole time. I was like, my nigga had some greens today. Is that spinach?
That's why you gotta love Bashir, bro. But that's what's up. So,
So I moved here.
What's your job, occupation? What do you do?
Yeah, talk about what you do.
So I've done a little bit of everything. I've kind of prided myself on my repertoire of
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. But I started in this space with a really cool crew. They were an ad agency. They're still active. They're great. Oh, no name drop, but I know that I'm
Well,
very,
you can shout out the agency.
yeah,
if they're dope.
Seraph Creative. They're in the
dope,
Short
yeah.
North right now. And
Okay.
Doug Joseph, he actually, when I lived in Zanesville, I lived in like a big 3,000 square foot loft, like in this old building downtown, like no walls and shit. And they lived on the second floor. And then on the first floor, they ran a photo studio. And
That's
we did
dope.
shows out of there. I played drums in a band growing up. I played drums my whole life. So
I seen you on Instagram now. with the
yeah,
drums.
I was starting
That
to get
solo
less-
cover was fire.
Thanks, man.
Reprise?
That was it. That was freestyle.
I like that stuff.
Thank you.
I'm always around stuff when you're doing shit like that, bro. I love it.
But yeah, so we I started working with them in the creative field. They were an ad agency, and I was their account executive. I guess I've always been good at sales, but also like I'm creative, so like I can paint a picture for the clients and whatever. So turned into like some more freelance work, just getting involved with lots of different businesses, and then I got a cool real estate developer kind of pulled me in under his wing and like apprenticed me, and then I started.
Your
leasing-
apprentice.
Well, yeah, he brought me in, and like this is something I've always prided myself on. Like I'm a college dropout, and like I never even looking for a job. I don't like titles because I refuse to like be in a box. But
Same.
so like when he reached out to me, he's like, I just want to hire. Like I don't have a specific job for you. I want to hire Seth. I was like, I need a Seth on the team. I was like, fuck yeah, that's it. So that was kind of my
That's dope.
mindset.
That's dope.
Ever since he told me that, I was like, fuck, like. Like $40,000 a year job being like a whatever is like you're not. That's like not your value. That's like the position's value. Like at the end of the day, you're always disposable. And like my goal from then on was to just like be in a position where I'm indisposable.
That is one of the dopest things, like being indisposable. I always say, like, if you're undeniably great at something, like people can't fuck with you. And
You are your value.
yeah,
You feel me?
like
Yeah,
and
that's
it goes back because a lot of times people do this thing. Well, I'm a woman, or I'm black, or I'm gay, or I'm
man, no one gives a fuck.
yeah, bro. I don't really. Yeah,
I don't
no,
care
real
what you
shit.
are,
Because that's what's been
none of that
going on.
shit
A
means
lot of
anything.
people play the victim. That's what I like. This people play the victim. Dog, I don't really give a fuck if you're gay, straight, bi,
Purple,
fucking
yellow, no one
hermaphrodite.
gives a
I don't
fuck.
give a shit, bro. Like if you're undeniably great at what you do, people will fuck with what you with whatever you're working on
And what
or
you
whatever
got to offer.
Like, and that's what
I'm
I
actually
love
gonna take that, bro.
Like,
I like that. I don't want an occupation name. I want my name to be the occupation title.
exactly. A lot of people don't move that way though.
That's nice.
I got a blessed opportunity then after kind of navigating a few different industries and fields and networking to come and be the property manager of 400, which is like where the studios are here, but also our other commercial and residential properties. So then that kind of geared into working on like more of a marketing level, and then they sent me to like Rhode Island and LA. So I'm like helping out kind of on a business development side, just getting all of our assets in line. We're about to grow a lot. So
Yeah, man.
You managing, right?
I want to hit on 400 West.
yeah,
Specifically.
Yeah, let's
This
get
is-
into the
this is the spot, man.
The hub.
Yeah,
This is the hub.
This is like I think probably the
Wait a
most.
minute, where's the location of this place?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
we're
400 West.
It's the back.
I mean, as far as like,
Bro,
you know
like,
what I mean? In
if
the
you guys
city.
have ever like grown up wanting to be like Batman and have like a fucking Bat cave to like dip off into,
like a Gotham.
this
This
is
is
so.
the-
If you're in downtown Columbus, aka Gotham, and you need to dip off over the bridge across the river to your fucking lair, that's how you get to 400. So naturally, look at the map and you're like, all right, where would Batman go? That's how you find us.
You have
And
to
then,
layer that. That's crazy. I'm gonna start talking about
about
that.
this
Layer.
so far.
What do you mean?
You definitely said that shit before, though.
in my head every day.
That's dope. That's fucking dope.
fire.
Now, can we
That's
also not even this place is like
yeah,
this area is fucking dope.
Franklinton.
Too. Franklinton, like
Yeah.
this place is on the rise.
So, and that's why I think 400 is such a unique thing because this kind of started the jump start this building did of the Franklinton arts community. Which
Let's go back a little bit more. Wasn't this like a flood area?
yeah, Franklinton was AKA the bottoms, and it was considered the bottoms because it's the lowest point geographically, so it would flood.
Yeah.
So they
Elevation.
fixed the flood walls 2006. I don't know, I might be wrong on that, but
Yeah.
that instantly changed the property value because no one would develop or build anything because
Yeah.
with the potential floods,
It's a lot of
insurance
risk.
companies
Yeah.
too much
A
risk,
lot
and you
of
couldn't
risk.
build certain heights and restrictions and stuff. So
Yeah.
now it is top dollar value.
I like how you said that this is the what is it? The Arts Center, Franklinton.
Yeah.
What do you say? Say it again.
Oh, so the Franklinton Arts
This
District,
building
I think,
kicked
but yeah,
off.
this kind of
kicked
jump
it off,
started,
yeah.
and this is such a unique project here too because it's like so like artist operated and functioned, and it's not like I encourage
It's
anyone
so
listening to this that
organic.
hasn't been here, just hit me up, hit any of these guys up, I'll give you a tour.
Yeah, and
yeah.
come Franklinton Fridays. Like
Yeah,
yesterday.
Franklinton Fridays, yesterday, last night. Second Friday of every month, we do an open, like the building opens, the bars and the other galleries all do exhibitions and shows.
And it's super dope.
It's in food trucks gone. Last night, the weather was trash.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
But once it starts getting warmer out, for
Yeah,
sure.
and we have a big outdoor space.
See, my thing is, what I like about this world is like, all right, when it comes to art, like especially like this, if you go downtown, like, all right, fucking whatever type of building suits, you'll never see artists go there.
No.
But the thing is, here where it's all artists, you'll see the suits come here.
because they want to buy.
Hey,
Well, it's not even that.
feel me?
Hey, that's true.
They kind of create. I mean, this is authentic. And it's something
It's
real.
organic.
It's organic.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, even the we can shout out the restaurant attached.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Strong water.
It's called
With that
Strong
place.
Water.
It's
And bro,
fantastic.
like, I mean, it's like a hipster
Hipster.
like culture vibe, but fucking business people are coming there.
Yeah,
It's so fucking
they
dope,
crave,
bro.
They crave like a real environment like that. I mean, you can always. Everyone just keeps popping up these new fucking chain restaurants. And
Yeah, bro.
New this, new that, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's like
You
people-
want-
something unique.
You want authenticity, bro. You walk into Strong Water, and I'm gladly going to shout that bar out. Because they easily play the best music out of any
Oh,
bar.
they music
No
selection is
TVs
so
on the
dope.
no
wall.
TVs, no, it's bro.
the
Yeah,
It's
it's no distra- Oh, I never noticed no
Yeah.
TVs.
Yeah,
you know
I love that, man.
what's dope
Never
about it
noticed.
is
they got a
like,
projector in there though.
Yeah, they play weird shit on it too.
Yeah, they do
It's
play
not
weird
like
shit.
when you're watching ESPN, they don't have
it
cable.
forces camaraderie though.
Conversation.
Like,
Yeah, you
and
talk.
have to
Forces
talk.
conversation.
And that's
I love that.
The
I
older I
never-
get, the
never thought about
less I am attracted to bars where it's just a bunch of people like loud music.
You know
Like,
what?
I don't care for that. as
When I
much.
think of when I go to Strongwater,
Damn. All right, we're not. I guess we're not supposed to shout out bars.
we can diss them though.
Hey, I'll throw brothers in there too and gas
But when I go to Strongwater though, I get the vibe that I'm in a library. Like
Yeah.
They have
that's-
that little joint that looks exactly like a library.
Yeah, like those little rooms that you go into and
Yeah.
just like duck off.
And you can drink at a library. Think about drinking at a library.
library.
Kicking it
Oh
with
my
your homies.
gosh,
Just
yo, we
talking.
should just talk to the city about like drink,
Open a library?
put a bar in the libraries. Why not? And people be coming.
Yeah,
They get intrigued.
are
They get-
the libraries are dying, bro.
That's what they should be doing.
Libraries
That's
are
what, well, they
dying.
should be doing that with like Barnes. Well, they probably already.
Like
No,
the book
Barnes
loft
and
in
Noble
German
is a
Village.
fucking
If like,
library.
if like
Barnes
the
and Noble should
city,
have
if
alcohol.
like the city
should.
couldn't do it, maybe like a book loft, like in German Village, like a private library, like a.
Have you ever been to the book place?
Well, go ahead.
My bad.
I
The
mean,
library,
what-
the library loft or whatever.
No,
You haven't been there? I have a bunch of books.
we need to go.
Oh, it's crazy.
I
I'll show
also
you.
think about strong water. Like when you walk in, no lie, I'm saying it from my side. I'm like, man, I don't know. This food might be fucking garbage, but the food is
Bonkers.
Top notch.
Bone-
It's fucking good,
I mean,
bro.
hipsters can cook, bro.
What I wanted to talk to you about though is like you touched on Franklinton, this building kind of kicking off the art scene here in Franklinton.
Yeah.
I'm actually really looking forward to like Columbus as a whole growing because
Yeah.
I think it really is. Because all when you grow up in Columbus, people constantly shit on the city or they shit on the state or they're
hate
like,
that.
I can't wait to move. You heard
But
this all
really,
the
it's
time.
just inside.
Yeah.
We the only ones who kind of shit on it
but
because
I'm,
we're here.
I'm saying this. Oh, you.
We don't let nobody else
Yeah,
do
yeah.
shit
But
on
that's
it.
that's any state. But I'm saying people who are like, yo, I'm want to move to California. Or I want to
Yeah,
move to New York
true,
or move to Florida. I'm like,
Oh,
you know
no,
what?
Columbus is about to be one.
Here's my thing. Not only is the city going to grow, but if you want to bounce. Don't
We don't need you. Yeah, we don't need
talk
you here.
about for real. Don't talk about how much you hate Columbus. Bounce. Nobody's holding you here. Like, bye, skedaddle.
You know why they don't? Because they broke.
Yeah, that.
Well, no,
Or
it's,
that-
and,
and they can't do it.
and they don't have the initiative to do it. I know people who are gonna
That's true.
who are gonna do that.
Yeah.
And it's like I salute you because you're not talking about it, you're doing it.
And it's funny because those people also like plan on coming back. They want to come back.
They
They
wanna
just want to
come
better
back.
themselves.
They want to go
before-
out, build their brand, and then bring their brand back here.
And that's great.
To
Better
the
the
thing is,
city.
if you can't shit on it
Yeah.
and then leave, and then when you come back,
don't
don't
come
come
I
back.
hate it
back.
when people say that like,
Don't
like,
come back.
people don't support and people don't support or people don't, there's not this or that. And I'm like, because you're not fucking doing it. Like you gotta like wait, you think like there's just like this magic place like people just like come out like it's not fucking social media, man.
Yeah.
Like a like on a photo,
Actually,
a like
social
on a
media.
photo is not support.
Exactly.
Be out
This,
there.
bro, this is support.
Show your
you feel
face.
me? What we're
Yeah.
doing. This is support for the
Like,
area,
Bro,
bro.
I was telling you, if there's dope
Exactly.
shit, if there was dope
Exactly.
shit going on, like if I know someone's doing something incredible,
Like last night.
yeah. Well, that's what did we do? First thing we did was we shouted that out and how
Yeah.
amazing that is. But like what you said, a like on an Instagram photo isn't. That's not
not
support,
support.
bro.
That is not support.
Yeah.
I
That's
could like
not
all your
support.
photos and never download.
You know
a
what?
record
You know what a
have.
like on
Facts.
social media is basically like I could have been there, but I wasn't. So I'm just gonna pity.
you know what it is? And my
Just
thing
know that I'm still here for
You know,
you.
people
Like,
people
no.
naturally love to shit on things that are just starting out, and then once it starts to catch a
they
little bit
want
of a
on.
wave, they're like, "Oh, well, I want to get on board." No,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
they don't
What's
work
left,
like
my
that.
nigga?
Yeah.
That's one thing I hate.
It's like stocks, my nigga. Get in when you can.
Maybe this might be conceited, but I've always thought to be like a little bit of a tastemaker and putting shit on or whatever. And I hate
Hell
it when
yeah.
I'm like, I fucking told you guys. What are you waiting for? Like I've been screaming it for years. but-
People
That's
do.
the
I mean,
future.
and
That's real.
that's why
I'm
I'm
the
just
same
like,
way.
yo, if you're somebody who takes a dump on Columbus, bye.
Kick rocks.
There are an ample amount of bigger cities. You can go to New York, go to Chicago, go to LA, go Austin's coming up, go down there. Like
Columbus doesn't
bounce.
need your negativity.
Yeah, like bounce,
Exactly.
bro. Like my thing is when you say the city sucks, what sucks about it? They never really give an
answer.
Yeah, and my thing is no, you suck. Because if you were to go to
Exactly.
no, my thing is if you were to go to
This nigga say you
no,
suck.
bro, then check it out though.
That's
If you were to
a
go
little
to New York or LA or Chicago or Miami or wherever, like you're still you.
You're still gonna suck.
You still don't have like
Exactly,
You're going
yeah.
there like your friends, the people you surround yourself make the city.
You don't. Nobody says like, "Oh, this city sucks." If they're doing good at what they're doing in that city,
right.
You feel me? Nobody says that.
Right.
It's when they're not, prevalent with what they're doing, or just like you feel me, moving and grinding.
They're not progressive,
Then you
yeah.
don't. Yeah, you just now you like, man. Nobody gives a fuck about nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, no, bro. Somebody gives a fuck about everything. This is a major city.
Yep.
So you can find somebody who's into what you're into.
Yeah,
You
you
feel
just
me?
gotta
That's
find 'em.
pretty
Like,
easy.
you gotta
Lazy,
find them.
though.
people.
Yeah,
people
but you're
They're lazy
lazy
to find them.
You're
Yeah,
just
that's
lazy.
true.
Another thing I noticed
like-
about people that are trying to leave, like they're always like, "Oh, I want to go to fucking Cali. I want to go to New York," but they never been to these places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They never
don't
been
know what
to
it's
those
really
places.
They
like.
don't get swallowed.
Yeah, so they go
Because
there.
they don't know anybody there, bro. Like it's one thing if you know people there and there's an actual connect that could help you with what you're trying
Yes,
to do.
like you know the culture over there.
establishment.
yeah. You don't
You gotta
know the
establish yourself.
culture there at all, and you're just gonna go there on a whim.
I mean,
and
but
think
there's
you're-
nothing wrong
Yeah.
with. I find nothing wrong with like just fucking parachuting. I
Okay,
don't-
that's fine.
It's,
Fair enough.
it's okay to go like nomad style for a while, especially when we at this young age where we can kind of bump our head and still recover.
Sure.
It's
But
okay
my thing is still learn a bit about the city before you
Yeah,
move
yeah,
in.
yeah,
If you're trying to be a tastemaker
Yeah.
in that city, you might
True
want to
that.
know
Yeah, get to know
about
the
it.
culture.
Yeah. Now I'm saying visit there a few times
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
move there.
We should do that. We should go nomad.
Yeah, like I'm trying to spend a winter in
Weekends.
Venice though, for real. That's my
Yeah,
How-
Yeah, see, I'm
can
trying
you
to go
talk-
overseas,
I want
bro.
you to talk about the Venice trip that you had.
what happened?
Hot damn.
You
Well,
went to Venice, like
Venice,
the
no. Venice Beach.
No.
Oh, okay, the river.
He was about to say the Italy.
He said you went to the Italy.
I am going to Italy though.
Oh, when's that? When's Italy?
You know I'm Italian, right?
May. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, have you seen my hair, my nigga? I eat pasta every day. Hold on. Yeah, I'll bring some. Italy, colonized Somalia back there.
Yeah,
and I know
I know,
my
that
grandpa
does
out there
not
fucking
mean-
Maria's crazy. I got Italian in me. Keep talking. Go ahead.
That makes me British.
Me,
then.
son, man.
That makes me British. That literally would make me British,
Depends
bro.
if your great grandpa like British chicks.
Actually,
Bro, Seth, so when Venice Beach.
Yeah, Venice Beach. Man,
Talk
was lit.
about that.
You went
Talk
out there
about
for work, right?
Talk about. I went out there for work. Talk about January 1, marijuana went legal recreationally.
Insane.
It was lit. There's some talks of like potentially doing some marijuana partnerships with the hotel.
Dispensary kind of thing?
Yeah, like where you get a nug on your pillow and it's like a weed stoner
Oh my
hotel
God, that'd
thing.
be fire. That'd be so fire.
Fuck a chocolate, give me a nug.
Yeah, that should be fire. Holy shit.
We are developing some crazy ideas. These are all ideas.
Oh, that'd
okay,
be
you know, there's
fire.
logistically one thing I've learned in my new job is things take time. And
Yes,
there
patience.
is that, but I mean, why not market off of the booming new industry? And we would be the first of our kind to do that. So
You know what'd be
Anyway.
dope with that weed? Or not that weed, that idea? You know those Rocher chocolates?
yeah,
The gold ones? You should wrap it up with something like that.
Oh yeah, wrap it up.
Yo, these are dope ideas. Let's not throw it all out there.
Yeah.
trying to give away all the secrets.
Actually, we're about to be.
Yo, what time period is this? I don't know what time it is on the podcast. We really might have to bleep some of that out.
Yeah, really.
That shit is
Nah, but all right, so you
Anyway, so yeah, Venice Beach, man. Weed was legal. It was great. A funny story. I'll tell you a funny story. So I get to Venice and I'm like, man, I'm looking up the recreational dispensaries that like they didn't all get permits to sell. So there's the spot in West Hollywood. I'm like, damn, my buddy was in the hills, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna go get this bud and then go head up with him. So my other buddy Flick was in town too. So we head to this dispensary. We're waiting in line.
Yeah.
We were like the next people to get up to the door, and fucking this big ass black truck rolls up to the side of the street, and it rolls down his window and leans out, and it's fucking Justin Bieber. And
Holy shit.
he's like, so what are y'all standing in line for? And I'm like, what the fuck? The girl next to me goes, recreational weed? And he's like, oh, sweet. Have fun, guys. And he like drives out.
That's insane.
I've never heard that story.
Yeah, so
That's
that happened.
insane,
And then I
bro.
went to meet up with my buddy Noah, who's a session drummer out in LA, and we smoked a blunt in front of Soulja Boy's house, who he rents from Jack Black.
He
Oh,
rents
Rented
from
from
Jack
Jack Black?
Yeah.
That's raw too.
So I thought he owned all his. Never mind.
No, he rents that shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
funny. But it's a dope house, though.
Yeah, I mean,
shout
I'm
out to Soulja Boy.
Yeah, we don't want to.
If you look on your security camera footage from January 7th, you'd see
You see
three
you?
dudes smoking blunts in your driveway.
That's founded.
That's funny as
Yeah, let's
shit.
not talk shit about Soulja Boy. We don't want to be banned from Atlanta, quote unquote.
From what?
Atlanta. He's always like, "Oh, you're
Why would
never
I go to Atlanta anyway? I don't know.
Atlanta?
I heard it is. I just
Did he
don't
get
have a
bodied
real
by
reason.
niggas?
We got to go to
Anytime,
Atlanta, Alpha.
anytime someone like comes to Soulja Boy, he'll be like, "Oh, you'll never be able to step foot in Atlanta again."
Yeah,
It's
he
like
could be
trying-
saying shit like that.
Well,
and no one
first
reps
off,
him in Atlanta.
I would honestly, I would hang out in Buckhead anyway. I'm not going to the trap.
Shout out my sister. She live in Buckhead.
Like the fuck? Like I'm not in your parts of the neck of the woods anyway, bro.
But I do want to let's go back to Franklinton.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about how like it's like the culture here is like it's all creativity. Like
Yeah.
all the people around here are like minded. They're all artists, and I wanted like to compare that to like I want to say this like almost like a renaissance. Like being,
It is a renaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being built here.
I've been,
Yeah.
It's a new culture. huh?
yeah, I've been talking about it for a long time, and a lot of what I say, I think of the difference in why this is a renaissance now is because there's capital behind it. People are,
Yeah.
and that's what happened. And if you
People
look back
can-
at the actual renaissance, if
A
we're
lot
gonna
more
talk about
people
it,
are seeing
that's
the
what happened.
future of this place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're investing into people instead of
Yeah.
just product.
True
anymore.
that.
I invest in people. That's something I believe in. I don't care about what you're selling. I don't care about what you got.
I care about you.
I care about you. Right.
I'm so glad that we're moving forward, like the suits and big heads. They're moving forward and knowing that a genuine city is built art first,
Yeah.
and then you surround.
And that's how you
feel me?
get people to come here, and
Yes,
then
bro.
that's how you make money off
But
of
you
it.
have to integrate.
But
Don't
art- yeah.
start art,
Yeah.
build your buildings, and then push the art out. Then
Yeah,
people will leave.
Yeah.
Well, art solves problems too.
Yes,
Most people
bro.
don't realize like how really valuable it is. On any type of team, for any type of business level, there needs to be more artists involved. And art, and that's so crazy too. Is like people ask me all the time, like, "Oh, you're an artist?" Like, I don't. First of all, I never call myself an artist, but people ask like what I do, and I'm just like, creating is just
Create.
Like,
I'm a creator.
That's all
Yeah,
I really
I'm
say.
gonna say
That's
that
all I
word.
really say.
Hey,
bro.
what is it,
Because I
bro?
do 100
Yeah,
things.
like, I made this
Yeah.
jacket. I don't know.
You feel me?
It's the
No,
hey, bro. For real, it's the age.
that
It's the
already
age
creators.
of the innovator, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like I. So when we talk about Franklinton, what's the difference between the art here and then the art in the short north? Like, what?
So there is actually a very distinct difference. The Short North was set up to be a gallery experience.
Okay.
Curated art is actually like a whole, art in itself, to curate art and to exhibit art. And gallery owners put a lot of work into art.
Yeah.
I like to kind of hobby in curating. I have aspirations of having
That's
my
what I
own
love to
gallery.
get into too.
Gallery
Curating.
curating.
Yeah, I would like to have my own gallery in the future, but that's kind of what Short North is built around. And then originally there was artists there creating, but the business was kind of structured. If you look at the Short North, it's just a straight line. It doesn't grow outward at all.
Yeah,
There's
no,
nowhere
straight.
for it to go.
Yeah.
So it was never really set up to be. A lot of people shit on the Short North like it failed the arts community, and it really didn't. Honestly, it didn't fail the arts community at all. It was never really a good. The arts happened to start there, but it was never a good place for them to grow in the first place.
Yeah.
But
They
here,
created like their own fish tank to where they only gonna get as big as what
right
they
there
dig.
in, yeah. And I think this area right here in Franklinton is great because there's going to be a lot of housing availability.
It's a
But
bigger
And there's so
fish
much
tank.
space.
we also have the commercial studio spaces that we have here. They're at 135 or something, 132 spaces.
Wow.
Just that we have. But there's also the Idea Foundry across the street. They consider themselves a maker space. So they have you can get a membership there, and that's becoming very popular. And you just pay I think it's like $150 a month, but you have access to some very expensive equipment, 3D printers, CNC routing machines, laser cutters.
That's not a bad deal too. 150.
I have to.
not
I mean,
bad.
you'd have
Somewhere
to
around
check
there.
their website, but yeah. But,
That's not bad.
but that's. I mean, accessibility is what Franklinton's kind of been built around, and the idea around is making things accessible to people,
So they can make
And-
art.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, and that is kind of where I've wanted to be, and that's like I just opened a commercial photo studio in our other building. It's kind
You
of
can
my
shout
baby.
that out.
Yeah, Photo Lab, the Photo Lab.
Yeah.
I haven't been there
You
yet.
need to take a picture. The Photo Lab. Duh.
Yeah.
Why not?
we have-
You
we
know,
have an
I
event
don't gotta
there
go
yet.
nowhere else.
Event. All that stuff.
We're going to be doing a lot of different cool stuff out of there.
Shit, we gonna
workshops.
shoot one over there too. Then. We're gonna
Yeah.
do a podcast over there too.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do we get people who don't fuck? Because I already know there's people who aren't naturally going to be into art. That's cool. But how do we get these people to kind of open up to newer things? Because what I've
Open their minds
realized
to it.
That's
is
on
that,
me a little bit.
yeah.
And
Oh,
in
yeah, go
this
ahead.
building specifically, that's a little bit kind of on me and the team I'm working with. I mean, it's not just me, but and putting together more just like event. Right now we talked about Franklinton Friday. That's once a month. I don't think that's enough.
No.
But there's a lot of logistics in doing events, from just parking to security to vendors and to
We think about the glamorous side, not the gears.
It's not. It's not just.
that's
yo,
what
I'm
that's
just
what I
gonna
do.
do.
I also wanna-
I turn the gears.
wanted to say this though, because a lot of people. Well, this is a bar city. We all like alcohol.
Yeah.
But this is more of a bar city. It's not a club city like that. It's a bar city.
Yeah.
So how is there a way to incorporate art and having a good time and getting
Yes,
faded?
that's so that's kind of what there's going to be
He said
a
getting faded.
lot of cool stuff like that in the near future. I'll keep a lot of it quiet, but
Yeah.
there's issues with liquor licenses and permits and what you can do, and we have plans to have a little bit more of a venue atmosphere to bring people in. Music is going to be big. I think
Music is huge.
one thing and it takes a lot of, like I said, just like curating an art gallery, curating an event to make sure that
But
it's a good vibe and people are going to have a good time. It's not easy.
What was real dope about last night? When we came in here and you were showing people around the room a little bit, and the music. You were like, "Oh, hey, I'm sorry, I should turn down the music."
They're like, "No."
And the girl came in and she was like,
Keep it cracking.
"Actually, she's like, no, that's the reason why we came in here."
Yeah, I was like,
And-
oh,
That's the perfect mesh is
Yeah.
visual art and music
Audio.
because it gets your it makes you create some because it makes you look at the art different from that other person. Just like when you hear a song, you're not hearing it the same way I'm hearing it.
No, I hear different stuff too.
You feel me?
Yeah.
That's why I'm obsessed with shit like that, bro.
Yeah.
I'll put in headphones and just walk around this place and look at art.
Well, that's what I'm noticing with more and more people, though, is that there is a craving for people to try to do new things,
Yeah.
but they feel stifled because it's like, all right, well, we can only go to this particular place or that particular place. These are the only places we know to go to have a good time.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why I say, like, yo, you don't need to go to fucking whack ass Brothers to have a good time. There's a bunch of places you can go to have a great time. You just don't know it.
You just got to
You got to expand your horizon.
Talk to more people.
And that
explore.
might, well, what you specifically just said, you might have to cut some of your friends off and meet new people.
Facts.
Yeah, cut off the closed-minded people.
Yeah, you can't
That
be
dead
around
weight.
people.
Get off that.
Bro, you
take off
can't
that
be
dead
around
weight.
people
Yeah,
who
bro.
want to go to Brothers.
That's real.
Yo, so I had an idea right now
For
while we're
real.
talking,
We kinda
and see
gotta-
if this is cool or not. Yeah, we got to wrap it up soon. All right, people.
Are we getting too long?
Say
Say
we have some listeners right now that are artists.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can put their stuff up while we're recording?
Absolutely.
You know, so if you're out there,
Yeah.
and because we were
Fire.
recording,
We'll show
That's
it.
a good idea, bro.
we'll
I like
show
that.
your artwork.
We'll talk about it.
We'll
We'll
throw you
critique
out
it.
there.
How
Yeah.
about better idea? Better idea. Why don't we can evolve into a little bit of an art critique? I did an interview. I'm producing an interview series of artists in the building, and one of the guys, he's 71, and and I can't wait for you guys to see it, but he was pissed about Columbus's lack of criticism in the art scene,
Yes.
Yeah.
and I agree. I
Okay.
think if it and I've kind of always just voiced my opinion. If I think it's whack, I say it. That shit.
Do you think the art in Columbus
Hold
is
on, so
whack?
people
or-
are just
We need
People are just
criticism.
people need to
criticism.
say it
Okay.
if it
If
sucks.
it's trash.
Yes,
I mean, we're
yeah.
not going to put people on blast.
Yeah.
But we need to. It needs to
And
be
no
more
yes,
of a conversation.
no yes men either. Don't
No,
just
yeah,
say,
yeah,
"Oh, that's
yeah.
cool," and
No,
then
it needs to be like, you could do better.
Yeah.
Like, I like
Oh,
what you
yeah.
did
pick
here.
out spots.
But maybe
Like,
if
you
you're
could
going to
change
do
this
another
part right
collection,
here.
yeah. Or this doesn't make
That's
any
what
sense
makes you
to me.
better, bro.
This
That's why I'm
conflicts.
all for honest criticism,
Yeah.
bro. But you got to know the difference between that and hating, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people who are just haters.
Criticism is because we want you to grow. We want you to
Yeah.
grow. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Haters are just people who just don't
Just
want
wanna
you
They're
shit
just
on you.
negative.
And
they're
just remember this:
they're
haters
miserable.
are not going to tell you shit to your face.
No.
Criticism
Oh,
will.
they'll
tell you the
critics
opposite
will,
to your
yo.
face.
Shit.
Because we're
Haters
social
will
critics.
tell you
Haters
no.
won't tell you shit to your face,
Are we-
but the critics will.
We are social critics.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, we're
are
social
social
critics.
critics. That's a
Wow.
good way to end.
When do we get our
That's a
column in
good
the
way to
paper?
end.
We'll get a call. That'd be dope.
Hey,
social
Dispatch.
critics. Oh, this
hey,
critic.
holla.
I was thinking about the
Dispatch.
newspapers the other day.
You need to
I was-
get on some Viceland shit, and you need to listen to your motherfucking audience, and
Yeah.
you need to get some real
True
people
that.
in there
True
talking
that.
real shit.
Well, can we talk a little bit about like old industry not hiring like younger people who are creative?
That's
who,
dumb.
They're intimidated.
That's so dumb.
Of course.
dumb.
Well, because they have. Here, I
You'll
kind
never
of.
expand.
Well, here's my thing. I kind of understand it. They have these jobs that they've had for years. They're trying to pay bills, family,
Hell yeah.
whatever.
Hell yeah.
But in order for your company to grow, I feel like you need younger, innovative people who
Yep.
are going to reach out to other younger, innovative people. And they know what these kids want. How are you 50 years old trying to guess what a 22-year-old wants?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so real.
That's so true.
Come on, like
So one of the reasons I might be going to Rome is for that exact reason. My friend, she went out there and ended up scoring a job as the marketing director of the Rome International Film School
Wow.
because there are a whole bunch of
Old people. Not old, but, like, dated.
different,
Just out of
they,
date.
yeah, different
Dated.
industry.
Dated.
They're used to like sending out a press kit and like an actual release, like a media release. and
Press
stuff
kits?
like-
Oh no.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're necessary,
Yeah.
but that's like their distribution method for
That's
like getting
crazy.
PR and stuff. So
That's their PR.
I don't know.
Something like
I
that.
don't know.
Right.
I'm assuming. Well, they didn't have any digital methods currently.
That's crazy.
honestly, how are
If
you
you
not?
don't have digital,
How
that's
are you
crazy.
I
not
don't
digital
know.
in 2018 though?
Well, we don't have to get
Yeah,
on
we
that.
got-
But-
Okay, all right.
But yeah. She basically the point of that is they brought her in and
Yeah.
basically said we need you because you're the millennial and
That's what I kind of like
and
about
she had an
that.
impressive resume. I mean, she's very shout out to Abigail, but
Your nigga, your dude, that your boss he kind of did that with you, huh?
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you're younger.
yeah, he
He
knows.
said
what
you're a
it is.
younger
He told
version
me.
of me, right?
Yeah, he told me that. Yeah.
That's great. That's what you need. That's what we
Yeah,
need more.
bro.
He said, you know what he told me? He said, I fucked up a lot and I want to make my goal to have you not fuck up as much as I did.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
That's
But
perfect.
that's how the young. That's why I hate. I mean, I'm gonna make this quick, but I even hated the way we move in hip hop to where somebody hits a certain age and we shit on them. I never like that, bro.
Yeah,
the youth is supposed to work with the elderly.
Yep.
The elderly is the wisdom, we the power.
Yeah.
We have to combine, bro. You can't shit on this old person. Old people can't be shitting on the young.
That's
like,
facts.
Yeah, they need to
That's
figure
facts.
out that the hip hop culture needs. That's like it's crisis mode right now. These guys need to figure it out.
Like those niggas
bro,
are
hip hop
dated.
in
That's
general, bro.
that's a
Like
problem.
fucking, we don't. Most niggas don't say that shit about Aerosmith. Them niggas can be 120 years old.
Yeah,
They're
they
still
still
like they're
get- yeah,
legends.
yeah.
They
Like,
are
soon
legends, yeah.
soon as our people hit
They're
33,
washed.
34,
They're
we're like,
washed.
oh, bro, it's a
I
wrap.
do not say that.
Yeah, like
Hey,
Grammys, nigga.
you know what? I gotta call you out.
Well,
I gotta call you out.
Oh, I did. I did.
You said that about Nipsey. You
Oh,
was
no,
like,
no,
bro,
I-
you can't blow when you're 33. But you gotta understand.
That's a different story.
You
I
took
still
that out of
agree.
context.
What'd
though.
you say?
First
Wait a
off, Dooley. Oh, I hate. My bad.
It's the homie. It's the homie.
A
It's the
friend
homie.
of ours
Yeah.
said that he didn't like Nipsey. It wasn't me not liking Nipsey. I like Nipsey. No, I said that about Dom.
You
anyway,
think he's too late?
specifically? But yeah, no, I think when
He's already blown. He already has. His
well. In Nipsey's
But
case,
there's different
Nipsey,
versions of
yeah,
blown.
Nipsey has a core fan base already.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs a mainstream.
No.
He,
he's not a trippy red.
Yeah, he doesn't need to
every-
blow up.
every-
But you're right. I don't think he will blow up to
But,
that level. no.
but that's my point. It's not about the blowing up part. We give a negative connotation towards our older. Like we just
Yeah, you're
naturally
right.
shit
is,
on them,
Nip,
bro.
is Nipsey older?
Yeah,
Two is
He's
not
not
older.
that-
rap.
In the rap game, in the
check
rap
this
game.
out. Exactly.
in the
In the
rap game,
hip hop world,
Yeah,
he's
15
that's
years.
old,
put
bro.
10, 15. How long has he been?
That's
putting out
wild.
music?
Yeah, he been out
Dom's
for a
older than
minute.
him. Dom's
He's been
older.
up-
Dom's older than Nipsey.
I kind of compare him to.
It's not
Nicki
age.
Minaj.
It's not age.
Oh, okay.
though.
But it's
So,
not. I'm not
That's
talking
how
about just
long-
Nipsey though. I'm
Yeah.
just saying
Yeah,
in
Nipsey.
general.
You can
bro,
say
do that
Currency's
amongst
another
our
one too.
culture.
Like
Yeah.
Currency's not gonna blow. Like,
None of them are,
Yeah,
but
they're
that's
not gonna
okay.
blow. Yeah,
In fact, I
exactly.
like the rappers who really don't blow because I get tired of hearing their
Yeah.
songs on the
You know
radio.
what?
Like,
I was
like,
watching
I like it more
something-
when you're not on.
But all right, so
everywhere.
it's time to
So that was
we got to wrap it up.
We
So-
appreciate Seth.
Seth, thank you for
we-
coming
through.
We,
Thanks for
love,
having
we
me
love
on.
this fucking establishment, but
Appreciate
we
you
about to
guys.
get to some fishbowl
So
topics.
every single episode, we pick 3 questions from the. I held up 2 fingers. 3 questions. 3 questions from the fishbowl, and each of us got to answer.
Seth can do
them.
the honors
and
on
they're
the
all
first one.
random. So I'll let you.
Yeah.
I like how you.
Yeah, it doesn't really
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Do you use a pinky or a thumb in the butt?
Dumb.
Oh,
Dumb.
Obviously. What the fuck a pinky? That's so weird.
Thumb all day.
Thumb.
I'm gonna put my thumb in her
the-
butt.
It's like pressing like
Yeah.
the go
Who
button.
wrote that?
That's a go button.
It's a go button, bro. Let me say it.
That's the Nas button.
Wait,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't even know logistically how you would. I mean, I know how you would do it, but like, I just don't.
I would feel stupid.
It's dumb. I'll tell you this. It is the go button, bro. There was
That's the
there was a
turbo.
point I was having intercourse with this
Upwards
woman.
or downwards? Sorry to cut you off.
Downward.
Downwards, okay.
Actually, yeah, downward.
Like
Downward.
this.
No, it's like
Yeah,
that.
That's downwards. That's downwards.
So it's
Okay,
going downwards.
downwards.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
all right,
So
bet.
I was having intercourse with this woman, and I tried it for the first time. I did. All right, so I was hitting it from the back, right? I just touched it a little bit, and I was like,
They like that.
and she was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, they
I was like,
love
oh
it.
shit! So I was literally pressing the go button, and when I went in, nut came out. Like she nuts every time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm tired of sex, like honestly, if I'm like worn out or I'm tired,
He got so descriptive, bro.
yeah, when
I
I'm
was
like,
hoping he wouldn't go there, but he did.
yeah, listen. When I'm like, when I was tired and I was stroking her, I was like, she needs to come. So I'm done.
You're a good.
Press
That's
the
a good
go
fucking
button.
guy because I'm like that too.
You
bro.
press the go button and you just.
Yeah,
3
wait.
minutes of the. We good. All right. High five.
All right,
So
we were-
definitely go.
Let me get my next. I've never picked one of these, bro.
all right.
All right.
I know one of these are bad. Like
Like, what do you mean?
like
Thumb in the butt bag?
no, like worse than that.
Oh.
Yeah, this she had it right there. Covertly smelling the fingers before engaging with her fully.
Wait, what?
Ooh, so you're talking about going in and
Yeah, that's the smell check.
I give it the
Oh.
lick check.
Oh, I
that's a
smell
definitely
before I
smell.
lick.
I
Lick
lick it.
check.
You look at her eyes, man. Women love this. Get in there.
I don't know if I can lick off top, bro.
I mean, it obviously don't smell bad. You're here already.
Actually,
it got
so,
real slow.
Slow, yeah. Look at it like this.
I don't even think I've ever. I don't think I've ever
So-
thought about that though.
I
don't
actually
do
have
that.
a
They think you
pleasant.
nasty, bro.
I don't know if I've thought about that.
There was a female recently that had. Well, I shouldn't say.
Say yeah, don't say recently, motherfucker. You might drop this tonight.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
She had these breakaway pants on.
Oh, see, now you're being descriptive. Now she's gonna know.
Oh, she definitely
she's
don't
100%
listen
She
to
don't listen to
this.
this shit. She don't listen to this shit.
All right, I don't think so.
Everyone
Bro,
gonna listen
but-
to this shit.
I just ripped him off, man. She was like first of all, I didn't smell check, but then I found out after she works at a wax bar.
Oh yeah,
Like
crazy.
Skittles.
that's love.
Like Skittles.
Like,
no, nigga, that's love. You want a girl that works at a wax bar.
Obviously, no. But
First of all,
hold on. Before this.
Eat them like Skittles.
Oh, you eat them like Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
Yeah,
All right,
fucking
nasty
yeah,
ass
bro.
nigga. He said like Skittles.
So yeah, actually, I guess no.
That's a good
I'm
question.
down
Yo,
for-
have
I'm
you ever
down
fucked
for
a girl with breakaway pants?
No.
That like she walking in and coming in. 5, 2. Fat booty.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't see too many like chicks
pants.
wearing breakaway
Give it
pants.
to
That's not
summer.
a thing no more.
Watch spring. I
Okay.
think it's gonna come back.
You think?
Breakaway pants? I don't know.
Yeah, I can see
come
breakaway
back.
pants
Yeah,
with the
that's
tube
exactly
tie.
like it.
That
Like
shit is
breakaway
fly.
joggers?
Tank
That
top?
shit is fly, bro.
Breakaway
Oh,
Adidas
breakaway
joggers.
jogger. I'm spitting this shit. Breakaway joggers would be
Yo,
cold.
can we talk about? Hey, stop telling niggas what we about to do.
All right.
That's it. All right, last one.
Last one.
Last one for the day.
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Oh,
Batman, we already had this
Batman.
conversation
Batman.
earlier.
Batman's a real
Batman.
human being.
Batman.
So can we get one more?
Yeah,
That was too easy.
I mean, but Superman gonna kill him obviously. 'cause
Sure.
Superman
Yeah,
cheats.
He's an
He's a
alien,
fucking
bro.
cheat code.
But he got like
What it really should have been was Superman or Goku.
yeah, Goku.
Yeah, Goku.
All right. How old is too old for a cougar?
For a cougar?
Yeah.
30s.
Is there really an age for that?
Too old. Whoa,
30s.
I don't fucking know girls.
I think it stops at 50.
When she hits how about when she hits menopause?
That's 50-ish.
That's
Sometimes.
55.
You know what? How about when
55.
I'll say
smacked?
57.
I'm saying like,
She
is
looks
there an
good
age on
at
there?
She's not a
55.
cobra.
Bro,
then.
J-Lo
She's
50, my nigga.
Oh yeah, okay. Jennifer Aniston too, maybe.
I'm
Halle Berry
I'm
50, my
saying-
nigga.
I'm saying if you look
It might be
good,
60.
Shut up.
I don't even think there's an age on it. I don't think you can.
Yeah,
No,
depends on
you know,
the-
it might be 60.
It might be 60.
Yo, you're
Vivica, not Vivica.
Vivica
Fox.
Fox.
who are you talking about?
I will hit Martha Stewart.
Tina Turner. Who played Tina Turner?
Who played Tina? Oh, Angela Bassett?
Bassett still look good. She almost
She-
60.
Oh, bro, she probably like 60 years old, bro.
She is.
Bro, I would hit Martha Stewart. I would, like,
Yes, I'm done. I swear to God, I would. No, you wouldn't.
Snoop
No,
probably.
you wouldn't.
I would.
My nigga, if you really saw that pale, wrinkly skin face to face, you wouldn't
yeah,
fuck
you
with
would.
her.
I would hit that, bro.
I'm not talking about money. I'm
I
talking
hit
about
her for her cooking.
No. I'm talking about
Yeah,
pleasure.
I know.
No, not
Yeah.
money.
For
Not
her
money.
to
You know she was a
Not
model.
money, not money,
You
bro.
know she
I'm
was a
talking about
model.
pleasure.
You know she used to be a model.
Nah,
I don't give
no
a fuck
pleasure.
what
No, I'm
used
saying
to
I'm
be.
just throwing it out there. Look
If
at the
she
photo.
come
She
in
look
with an
great.
apron and some like a nice tray. Oh
You're
yeah,
not-
I got
y'all
you.
bugging. Y'all
I
ain't
think
fucking
there's
Martha Stewart.
actually a photo of Martha Stewart boudoir condo like cooking. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Nigga, shit's
I ain't gonna lie.
Photoshop,
Yeah.
nigga.
I ain't gonna lie. Her
no,
going
no,
to jail
no.
helped her jacket. You know, helped her rep.
It did.
Like I fuck her because
She was
in
like
jail.
in like
She a
a
little- she
fucking
a little-
cozy
I know,
room.
fuck her,
the
yeah.
entire time.
She had an easy bake
She was
oven
like
and
a
shit.
John in there.
Yeah, like
She had an
definitely
easy
have
Pablo
a
bake.
shit in
Escobar
there.
style.
You're not fucking her.
But yeah,
I would.
that was the fishbowl topics, guys.
we had a good time, man. It was-
Yeah, man. I want to, before we end this, I want Seth to like, honestly, like promote himself, promote all the shit that he got going
Yeah,
on.
Yeah.
definitely. Plug. Everybody
so
plug.
I'm working on quite a few things right now. I mentioned the photo lab. I'm pretty happy about that. I've got some photos up at Two Truths this
Okay.
month. That
Oh
was
yeah, I
random.
saw that.
Yeah, we
the
saw
other night.
those.
That was nice.
That was random. That was fun.
Did you know they're going to be put up? Obviously.
So
Did
I'll
you
tell you a
put
fun
them up,
story.
right?
I'll tell you a fun story about those photos. So I took those photos slightly pretty inebriated. I was that was not a model necessarily. It was just a friend. And I woke up and I was like, oh fuck, I need to edit those photos. And while I was editing them, my buddy Gio had hit me up and was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just chilling, kicking it. He's like, I need help tonight. I have a gallery at opening at Short North for Two Truths, and I don't have enough artwork to fill up the walls. So I was like, oh, okay. And then so he came down. He's like, no, you needed to print some photos. And I had just taken those. I was like, yo, this is going to be lit. Less than 24 hours, they were taken and up on the wall for showing.
That's
raw.
dope.
It was
That's
dope.
dope.
So go to
That's
Two
dope.
Truths.
Two Truths
You'll
is a bar
see-
on High Street.
Yep.
Fifth.
Yeah,
Fifth
it was a
and High.
random, and I'm doing a new kind of. I have a photo shoot actually in an hour with a couple up and coming rappers at Iceberg Slim. My dude
Oh, yeah,
Iceberg
the
is
picture you
lit.
showed me?
Iceberg Slim.
Yeah.
And Tay Fresh. Then my buddy Larry Robertson's going to style with me, so I'm excited to do
Dope,
that
dope,
shoot.
dope.
And but outside of that, man, I've got a lot of things going on outside of here that might not be relevant, but I'm excited for the future. The
Where can they-
springtime,
where definitely,
I'm
bro.
going to be doing like a monthly event outside in this back lot. I don't know if anyone was at my Halloween party, but
That shit was fire.
area, I'm gonna
That
start.
shit was so lit.
I'm gonna start doing once a month things out there, and then
Instagram. What's your Instagram?
it's Seth Galen, Galen, so SETHGALN. And that's my middle name, not my last name. Everyone-
Remember, this guy doesn't have a last name. This nigga doesn't have a last name. He shared.
Nigga's name is Seth, like
So everyone's-
Nas.
yeah.
Also, if you guys have, if you guys got work you want us to put up while we talk to you
Yeah,
guys,
thanks.
criticize y'all.
Yeah.
You can do
Thanks
it.
so much.
And give
definitely
us
do
more
that.
fishbowl topics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're running low.
And like we said, we like criticism, so give us that too.
We'll
Let us
socially
know criticize
criticize
what
your
y'all
shit.
like, what y'all don't
And
like.
another point when it comes to guests, we wanted to have Seth on here because he actually had something to talk about.
And he does something.
Yeah, and he does something. he does
actually
something.
does
We're not. We really no disrespect to people because we've
Thank
had
you, guys. I
people.
appreciate that.
We've had people come up to us and ask us, "Yo, get me on the podcast." Like,
No.
I mean, if you're ridiculously entertaining, and yeah, sure,
If you have a super dope personality,
sure, but like, I'm not gonna bullshit y'all. Most of y'all aren't as funny as you think you are.
Most of y'all niggas dry as rice cakes.
Yeah, most of
man.
y'all
Not even
are-
funny, just
not
entertaining.
none of y'all
They
are-
never listen to your fucking podcast.
I don't give a fuck. Y'all aren't as inquisitive as you think you
I
are.
really
Like,
think
inquisitive,
we
a
might
word
start
for it.
focusing on trying to grab some people from like this area, Franklinton.
Yeah, for
sure.
Get on
That'd
the
be
Yeah,
podcast.
come
fire.
on down,
That'd be
man.
fire.
It's gonna be some good stuff.
For sure.
I actually wish I had more solid stuff. I'm waiting. A lot of things are up in the air, but I will be having a really awesome launch party in the next month.
Next month?
For within the next
Lit.
month. It was
Couple
supposed to
lit.
it was supposed to be like this weekend. But,
Launch party for here?
no, for the photo lab.
Oh, the photo lab. Okay,
So
that's
it's
dope.
gonna be come, bring a camera, bring some friends. There's gonna be some props. Bring a bottle.
Photographers, bring BYOB, bring your own
Dude, I got
drink.
some DJs.
Probably
lined
have
up.
some drinks there, maybe.
Yeah, we'll have some drinks. Maybe.
and
Some
so
PBRs.
Driss and I don't Driss and Curtis doesn't
yeah.
matter. Driss, you can announce
right,
what
well-
we're about to do.
let's start it off like this.
Well, let's tell them why.
Oprah's a fucking, she's a beast out here, guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
listen, this is what it is. We were the Soul Sundays podcast, right?
R.I.P.
But we've recently transitioned to videos, and you can't find us because Oprah has a podcast of her own called Super Soul Sundays. So we are like a drop in the fucking bucket compared to her.
100%.
How long
Like
has
you
she been
type
doing
in
that?
She's been-
forever.
yeah, well,
You
I
guys
didn't
can't
check
find
that
us
shit
for shit,
first.
bro.
Honestly, I
We
noticed it.
did. We just kind of ignored it.
Yeah, and we can't compete with Oprah.
Yeah,
We're not gonna. We're not
Well,
gonna try.
and I
We're gonna
pointed
send her a
that out.
cease and desist. We gotta take that shit down, Oprah. We got new shit
I'm not,
cooking.
and I don't even want to like get in the business of even trying to argue with Mama O because I like Mama O.
All right, so is this the name
All right,
revealing?
so-
Is this the name revealing?
The new name is
Ready for this?
Social Critics.
There you go.
We were subliminally throwing that in there this podcast.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know the
yeah.
major critic. I like it. I like it.
Exactly.
I'll critique it right now.
All right.
I think it's dope.
Hey.
And I didn't like
approve.
I like
I
criticism.
didn't like Soul Sundays because you're limiting yourself to Sunday. That's fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
That and it doesn't sound as like if I'm around a suit or something and I want to explain something that we're seriously doing.
Didn't sound right.
He's like, "Oh, what is your Soul Sundays?"
Sunday.
They be like, all right,
What is
some
this, a
hippie
Christian-
shit.
Christian
Yeah, some
podcast?
hippie shit.
But I mean, we did try to like focus on music.
I just
before.
put on Soul Sundays. It's really funny. Oh, we got room for time for one more story.
Yeah.
So when I got interrupted earlier,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
what had happened was one of my tenants was like, "There's some people that are in the building. They like finesse their way in here, and they say that their great grandfather used to own the place."
What?
And I'm like, "What?" So I walk back there, and there is four lovely older people, two couples, and they're like in awe, just looking around and shit. And I walked up, and the tenant had introduced me to them, and they got really excited, and apparently that they were eating at Strongwater, and they looked down and saw their name on the floor because the EBCO name's still on the floor. So
Wow.
I
That's
told them
dope.
I've got some archived stuff with the family name on it, like original letterheads. And
You better
stuff.
hook it
But
up.
that's
Dope.
yeah, I'm
Gotta
gonna
hook
hook
that
them
up.
up. So they got really excited. They're from Montana.
Montana.
Yeah.
Montana.
So he's the one guy's
Who the
like
fuck is living in Montana?
I forgot.
yeah.
I
Horses,
love to
bro.
live in Montana. They got
Bro.
good ass deer
I'm
out there.
tight on Montana.
Have you been to Montana?
No, I just know they got good deer.
Bro, they got horses that run wild out there, bro.
Wild horses are
I
crazy.
eat all animals.
Yeah,
out there,
actually,
bro.
I've heard Montana's beautiful.
I heard, wild horses. I was watching, what was that? The nature show that's on Netflix, Planet Earth.
Okay.
Wild horses are crazy.
They're nuts. I'm cool on
Yeah,
that.
they
I don't like
fucking
horses.
wild.
Dude,
nigga.
Native
They're wild.
Americans,
They're literally wild, nigga.
They're
All right,
too
so
deep.
yeah.
but social critics,
love it.
we're switching the name.
Yes, guys. Videos are coming up. Well, shit, videos are up now.
Yeah, I mean,
so
yeah.
y'all gonna see a slight transition. Well, it's super slight. We only got like 2 episodes sponsored by Soul Sundays, and we're actually we're not fully abandoning the name Soul Sundays. We're thinking about making Soul Sundays an event.
Yeah. So on Sunday.
Inside of the social.
Inside of Social Critics, Soul Sundays would be the event.
So Social
I said we
Critics
talked about
presents Soul
this. I said
Sunday.
we should do like mimosas. And
Yeah, bro.
and some get
And
down
then we
music.
can have. We're thinking. Well, you know what? We gonna get saved.
We're not gonna
We
celebrate.
gonna talk about it
Who
ourselves.
cooks? I'll talk to you about
Oh
it.
yeah, that's on. Cook it.
We appreciate all y'all, man. Y'all, there's been more people tuning in, even though we took a slight hiatus. Well, it was a decent hiatus.
More people are tuning in.
Yeah, more people
numbers
tuning in.
are still going up.
That's pretty dope.
But then it's about to boom because now we got video and we're on fucking YouTube, bro. It's inevitable.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna ask Seth for a little bit more assistance on some of this. So
Yeah,
I mean, also
we're gonna be
appreciate-
more integrated in this. So
Yeah, I'm in.
it's all gonna be good.
I appreciate Seth for coming on here
Thank
with
you,
us
guys.
today.
Thank you, Seth.
Yeah, for sure. All right, everybody have a blessed week, man.
All right, guys.
Peace out.
Peace.